but you have to believe in yourself. You have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to start gaining momentum, celebrating these small wins, and being patient with the process. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first solo podcast of the Ryan Reflects podcast. To give you a little bit of a lay of the land, my name is Dr. Ryan Corte, and I'm the host of Ryan Reflects. And this podcast is designed to inspire and empower optometrists and eye care professionals. I truly do believe that the sky is the limit when we align what we believe in, our goals, our passions, and we take action on those things. So solo podcasts, well, they tend to be anywhere between 10, 20, sometimes 30 minutes. And the interview-based podcasts, 30 to 50 minutes. I may break them up into one or two parts like I just did with Dr. Joseph Allen's podcast that we had the first 2 weeks to start off 2025. But the goal here today is to talk about starting 2025 off on the right foot, right? With a purpose, with positivity, with intention. And so I'm going to walk you through a few different things. I'm going to walk you through aligning with your why, building good, strong, positive habits, setting goals, and then fostering that growth and development so you can have an incredible year ahead. And at launch of this particular episode, we're already a little bit into 2025. We're in January and partially through the month. But if you're like me, the end of the year in optometry is pretty crazy. It's very busy, and you may start to put aside some goals, some aspirations. You may want to press the reset button, and so you really don't have time to do so until early time in the new year. So let's start things off here. I want you to take a second and really think about and reconfirm your why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you believe that you should be embarking on a particular journey in life, or that you should be serving in a particular way or fashion? Why do you do everything that you do? And so I'll give you a little bit of an example here. My particular why behind who I am is my faith in God, my family. I have a wife and two young children, and the family that surrounds us, fellowship and connection with others. I do believe that we generally charge each other up through genuine human connection. So connecting and networking and talking and collaborating with others is something that I truly believe in. And then service to others. You know, we're in the profession of optometry, where we are serving their eye health and vision care needs to the fullest extent. And so those things for me really fuel me. And as we make a transition into 2025, I had to take a step back and reset and write down exactly, why am I doing what I'm doing in life? Why am I so passionate about optometry and how we can impact our patients, our communities, and really grow this profession? Why do I want to continue to build things out for my family and continue to network and serve others? All of these things are incredibly important questions you should be asking yourself. And a good book to even jump into is the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Excellent book, really well known and out there. And if you're trying to dig deeper into why you do what you do, why are you here, why do you believe in what you believe in, I recommend grabbing that book and just kind of flipping through some chapters. Also, you could take some time to journal and see what comes to mind. You could spend some quiet time just reflecting on, hey, maybe a little bit of prayer or quiet time for clarity. Those things can be very impactful and help you think about why you're doing what you're doing. Maybe talking to mentors, trusted friends. All of these things are extremely impactful. Next, I want you to really sit and be intentional with setting healthy daily habits. So for me personally, one of the books that really helped me prompt this was Atomic Habits by James Clear, probably my favorite professional development book. I'll make sure I link to these books also in the description, but the reality is it helps you align and set small, consistent habits that help lead to big changes over time. And I'll give you an example. A habit is something that could take you a few days to build, or could take you a few months to build. But on average, 66 days is what he identified in the book it takes to form habits. And of course, this depends on how challenging is the habit. Is it a good habit? Is it a bad habit? But for me in particular, I've always tried to build habits that support a healthy lifestyle, that support what I believe in, which is providing for my family, my faith, and really the walk and the journey that I have in life, taking the best possible care of my patients, supporting the practice, and being a leader in the practice that I am an owner in, and so I meditate as much as possible. Once a day, I try to build into that healthy habit, and I track it. Exercise is another thing. Eating healthy, trying to limit any kind of alcohol intake, or be intentional about if I'm socializing, just having a drink or two with friends. And actually, in fact, I have an app that I love to utilize. It's called Evo Day, and the nice thing about it, and I'll kind of just hold it up here, you can see a little bit there if you're watching this on a video platform, but I'm able to track on a daily basis. All right, am I getting in prayer, meditation, journaling, learning, working out? Am I consuming good food that's healthy for me? Am I taking time to reach out and connect with others? And am I setting aside time to enjoy life with my kids, with my wife, individual hobbies? And so if you're able to do that, I do recommend that you just take some time to start writing down habits that you want to build. Because if you start to build these habits, you're going to see small wins over time. And these small wins will compound to help you hit some of your goals, right? It'll help you stay motivated in that process. So the next step would be setting goals with intention. Goal setting and habit formation kind of go together in my mind, right? If you don't have good habits, it's hard to hit your goals. If you don't have strong goals, it's hard to stay motivated to build these habits. And setting goals with intention, I like to use the acronym, the SMART goals acronym. These goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So what was one of my SMART goals for 2025 was to launch the Ryan Reflects video podcast with new episodes every Thursday for the first year. So to remain really consistent and to hit a metric of 1,000 total listens to grow the reach within optometry. So is it specific? Yeah, I feel like that's pretty specific. Is it measurable? Well, I got to drop a new episode every Thursday so I can measure that. Is it achievable? Yeah, I've set aside some systems and I feel like I have a good playbook set up to do so. Is it relevant? Yeah, it's relevant to my why because I love our profession. I want to continue to grow it in a positive way. And is it time bound? Yep, it's that first year. So this is a year-long goal to see the impact. I want you to really think about goals for yourself professionally, goals for yourself personally, because I bucket those two things into professional goals, my professional goals, but also maybe professional goals for the practice. And then on the other side, I have goals for myself and my family. My wife and I will set individual goals, and then we'll have collaborative goals together. And I check in on these things. Sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's quarterly, sometimes it's twice a year, sometimes it's every year I set these goals. But it helps you have a benchmark of utilizing your habits and being consistent and positive and motivated with those habits to get these little wins over time to achieve small, medium, and even big dream goals that you've had. Once you have these goals, I recommend putting them into a place that you're able to see them on a routine basis. So I like to kind of put it by my nightstand and take a look at them from time to time. Some people put them on the backside of maybe their closet door, or they have them hung up in their office, or they have it set up some way, somehow, maybe on an app that reminds you, hey, these are my goals. I haven't really dove into an app that I'm like, this is my app. This is the app I want to utilize for goal setting, and I'm going to use it. But if you have a good one, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to look into it. But once you have these goals, you have to manifest them. And I'm talking about praying about them. I'm talking about making affirmations about them. I'm talking about visualizing these goals in your head and watching yourself be successful in the process. So for an example, the goal I had referenced of building out this podcast, being consistent for 6 months and seeing it grow over time, right? And I can even be more specific with that goal, let's be honest. But this goal I've prayed about. right? And I've talked about it, and I believe that God is going to help direct me on that pathway. I visualized it. Talking to other individuals and having these interview style podcast episodes versus putting together some time to be intentional about the content that I'm going to share on the show in a solo podcast. I've put together some affirmations that I know that over time I can continue to do this and be successful. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, what about my goals, right? So how am I going to affirm these goals? You have to write things down. You have to make it simple for yourself, but then start to visualize yourself in the process. Maybe you're trying to start cold in a practice. Maybe you're trying to buy into a practice. Maybe you're trying to switch up and bring a new specialization in a practice. Maybe you want to get married and you have a goal, you're already engaged, but you have a dream wedding, or you want to buy a home and you have to start to save up to hit a certain benchmark to feel comfortable about doing so. Visualize yourself through that process. And over time, you'll continue to compound and see those success things take place. You'll find encouragement. Listen to podcasts like this one that really are going to help you drive these things home. Next, I want you to surround yourself with the right people. If you have people around you that have bad habits, that don't believe in themselves or you, that haven't built up habit formation, goals, or living positive lifestyles or even healthy lifestyles, how do you expect to be successful with what you're trying to accomplish? And I'll give you an example. If you're somebody that's like, I really want to get strong this year, I want to tone up my body, I want to build some muscle, and instead you're spending time at the bar, and the individuals around you don't go to the gym, they don't set aside the time to eat healthy or consume good food, and but in your head you want to do this, but these are the people that you surround yourself with. How do you expect to accomplish these goals, building healthy habits? How do you expect to achieve success over time? Those are the things that you need to think about. And the right people, your right support network can help you when maybe you're starting to become a little bit leery or a little bit fatigued or tired or unmotivated. So having like a mastermind group or having a support network. I can tell you for me and my practice, I have a group of doctors in my LensCrafter sublease setting that we talk and we motivate each other and we share things, and it helps us hold each other accountable, but it also really helps us grow as individuals and grow our practices. And so finding partners and like-minded individuals that can keep you accountable and help you obtain and achieve your goals is a huge way to start off 2025 on the right foot. And then reflecting on what's transpired maybe over the last few months, years, whatever it may be. And, I'll be completely transparent with you. 2024 was a tough year, a lot going on personally, professionally. Oh, by the way, a hurricane hit the region I'm in, right? So living in Asheville, North Carolina, Hurricane Helene came in. Maybe you're listening to this podcast and you live in Southern California. My thoughts and prayers go out to you. And, we're going to continue to support you in any way possible. But maybe you had a challenging time and you have to let go of certain things. Maybe you had a great past few months or years and you want to compound on that. You have to let go of certain things, though, that aren't serving your goals, aren't serving you intentionally. And I personally believe that, for example, when the hurricane came through, there's a lot of challenges that we faced in our community. Personally, my kids' school was damaged and they had to relocate for a while. But there were blessings in this process, right? The school was quickly rebuilt and gutted out and rebuilt, and now they're back in the school. There was a church that opened up a wing of their church, and the kids were able to go to school during this time period. And but some of the frustrations around a hurricane hitting the mountains are something that I personally will have to be letting go. And actually coming up in one of the next podcast episodes is an interview I had with Dr. Haley Perry and Dr. Casey Krug about this exact experience. But it takes time to let go of these things and move on. And I believe that when you do so, you're able to better serve your overarching vision and what you want to do in life. Next, and really last but not least, you have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you more than you can possibly believe in yourself, right? And so what do I mean by that? You have the ability to achieve strong positive habits in your goals and your dreams. You have the ability to accomplish beyond measure what you want to achieve in life. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to start gaining momentum, celebrating these small wins, and being patient with the process. And I'm not talking about the fact that you won't run into trials, tribulations, you won't make mistakes, you won't have challenges because they're out there, right? And things happen. Life gets messy. Challenges will present themselves and you're going to have to work through them. But if you want to continue to grow personally and professionally, you have to believe in yourself, in who you are, and your overall potential. All right, so that was the first solo pod of the Ryan Reflects podcast. Just to recap a couple things here. Yet you really want to start off 2025 on the right foot. And if that's where you believe you need to be, and I believe you do, you have to reconfirm your why. You have to build healthy habits, and you have to focus on goal setting personally and professionally. You have to manifest those goals through affirmations, through visualization. Surround yourself with good human beings that are on the same pathway. Let go of any past trials, tribulations, challenges, or issues. Put them in the rearview mirror and believe in who you are. Because you have the ability to accomplish and achieve whatever you want in life. You just have to put in the time, energy, and effort, and you can do it. And I believe in you. So that's it for the podcast today. Make sure you share this out with your friends, peers, colleagues. Let me know if you have any questions, leave any comments. I'm happy to connect. And as always, stay tuned for my next podcast where we can reflect and grow stronger together.